Want to up your barbecue game this summer? Try going low and slow, smoking your meat instead of grilling. Here to tell us how it's done is Jamie Purviance, author of Weber's Smoke, a guide to smoke cooking for everyone and any grill. Hi, Jamie. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, Tanya. Thanks for having me.
So, Jamie, unlike grilling, where food cooks directly over the flame and even sometimes comes into contact with it, the principle behind smoking is to use indirect heat, correct?
Yeah, indirect is always preferable for those really tough cuts of meat like ribs and brisket and pulled pork. They're going to take a long, long time to cook, and if you cooked them over direct, they would just burn before they were really nice and tender.
Are there any other benefits to smoking? Does it change the taste in significant ways?
Oh, that's the biggest one of all. Originally, smoking was just a way of preserving meat, but it was so delicious that people kept it around as a really wonderful way of adding extra flavor in very subtle ways and sometimes very strong ways.
All right, so before we talk about all these fun flavors that people are using when they're smoking, let's talk about the sort of nuts and bolts of smoking. It must take a long time, correct? I mean, how low are the temperatures we're talking about, and how long does it take to cook, let's say, a big party-sized brisket?
Usually between 225 and 250 degrees. That's the sweet spot for those really tough cuts. A big brisket, a full packer, will sometimes take upwards of 16 hours. So we're talking about usually an overnight experience. But you can get a little smaller brisket, maybe 4 to 5 pounds, and do it in maybe 6 or 8 hours.
So are we talking roughly an hour per pound of meat?
I think that's a pretty good guess, yeah.
All right. Okay, now do we need to buy smokers for our grills? Because there certainly seem to be plenty of options in every price range these days.
Yeah, well, smoking has gotten so popular now that all kinds of new contraptions have come on the market. And the truth is, you can actually smoke with just about any grill. You can smoke with your basic Weber kettle grill. You can smoke with a gas grill even. Some of them have built-in smoker boxes. Or you can buy a stainless steel box that sits right on top of the grate. And then, of course, if you're really into it, if you sort of get the obsession, then you go to a full-on, dedicated smoker like a water smoker, which keeps the temperature really low for a long, long time.
And now let's talk a little bit about these creative smoke flavors that people are using. How can we try some of those out ourselves?
Well, you can start with things like herbs, spices. Put some peppercorns on the coals.
You put them right on the coals.
On the coals. Mm-hmm. I love to do when I'm doing a steak, for instance. I might chop up some fresh thyme and then put that on the steak, and then take the branches of the thyme and put those on the coals, maybe with a little bit of wood. It adds a tremendous amount of flavor, makes the best steak you ever had.
And quick tips before we start smoking. Using a pan of water is helpful, right? Keeps it from drying out?
Particularly if you're cooking for a long period of time. The water will help maintain the temperature where you want it, and it creates a little bit of humidity, which helps the smoke actually penetrate into the meat.
Thanks so much, Jamie. This conversation has made me hungry.